back to my channel. Thank you so much for deciding to click on today's video. It is going to be a first impression style review on the brand new Zodiac Collection from Wet n Wild. I did purchase quite a few items from this collection. I have all 4 of the eyeshadow palettes. I also have 2 of the highlights, and then I do have one of the lip glosses to try out in today's video. So I'm really excited. I feel like this collection really kind of caught my attention. I feel like the eyeshadow palettes in particular looked really, really pretty. So I'm excited to try them out. I just got them, so I haven't went into them. I haven't swatched them or anything, so that's what we're going to be doing in today's video. If you guys are ready to go ahead and get started, got my tongue tied there, let's go ahead and get into it. Getting started first, let me explain to you a little bit about the Zodiac Collection. So this is a new collection from Wet n Wild. This is a limited edition collection and is exclusive to wetnwild.com and to Walmart. When I did go on this site, I found it a little bit different with this collection, that it wasn't offered in a bundle where you could purchase the entire collection like some of theirs have been in the past. Basically what they did is they put them in bundles. We had the fire bundle, the water bundle, the earth bundle, and the air bundle. So each of those bundles was $20.95, and it looks like you got 3 lip colors, the eyeshadow palette, and then the highlight, whichever one went with each sign. And then the prices individually, the highlights are $6.99, the eyeshadow palettes are $4.99, and then the lip glosses are $2.99. There also was a loose highlighter that I've been hearing a lot of buzz about. That one is $6.99. I could not get that one. It was out of stock, and so I wasn't able to get that one, but I do have quite a few of the pieces. Like I was saying, I have all of the eyeshadow palettes, one of the lip glosses, a few of the highlights. So let's go ahead and get started with some swatches. Okay, so here are all 4 of the eyeshadow palettes. I think these are really fun. They remind me of like a highlight that has the different wheel to it, like all the different shades. I know a lot of people that this will bug because they don't like their shadows to be touching like this. They like them separated. But for me, that's not really something that bothers me. I think that this is like cool and different. I like how compact they are. And they are mostly, it looks like, all shimmers. So these are going to be something that I would more or less go into kind of for like a fun pop here and there. I don't know if I can create a full eye look with these. I'm going to try, but they are all just shimmer palettes. So let me show you each one of them. Okay, so this very first one here is the Fire palette. And here is a swatch of all 6 shades from the palette. They all appear really, really pigmented, and they look really nicely in the swatches. The next one we have here is the Water palette. Here are all 6 swatches of the Water palette. Those blues are so pretty. Next we have the Earth palette. And here are all of these swatches from the Earth palette. The very last one of the palettes, this one is Air. And here are all of these swatches from the Air palette. I did end up purchasing 2 of the highlighters. I got the Earth highlight as well as the Air highlight. I felt like for me, these were the most wearable shades. So this one here is the Earth. I love how they flip up like this and they're like the longer palettes. I think that's a new style for Wet n Wild, and I think it's really cool. So this one looks really cool because it does have the little markings in there as well. I don't know if you can tell like the imprint there. But this one is the, ooh, this one is pretty, wow, this one is really golden. Here's what that one looks like. Really, really blinding. This one, again, is the Earth one. And then here we have the Air shade. This one is definitely very marbled. It looks like it's going to be more of like a pinky shade. And yes, ooh, that one's pretty too. Here is that one on the bottom there. Both of these shades are really pretty. They're like kind of similar, but they do have a subtle difference. You can tell the one on the bottom just has a little bit more pinkiness to it. It almost has like a tint of blue as well. The last thing I did get was the gloss. I ended up getting Aquarius, which is not my sign, but this one looks like the prettiest color to me. It's just like a really pretty pinky nude shade. This does have a little bit of glitter in it. Here's what it looks like. I just felt like this was the prettiest one, the one that was like most wearable, at least for me. So I did end up getting this one, and I'm excited to try out the formula. These are only $2.99, and I don't think I've ever tried one of their lip glosses. So this has me really excited. Okay, so enough about the swatches. Let's go ahead and try some of these on my eyes. Okay, so I just went ahead and I applied some concealer on my eyes. I am not going to set it because these are shimmer palettes. I don't want to set it just in case they kind of don't go on as well. For this first shade I'm going to go in with, I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, but I'm going to go in with this one right here from the Earth palette. This is kind of like a very vampy shade. We'll see if it picks up here on this brush. Like I said, these are not really meant, I think these are meant more for just to be like a topper shade, you know, but I'm going to try and just create like a whole look. So I'm gonna go ahead and just apply this on my eye. Just kind of stamp it on there. A few of these shades, this one and a few other shades, looked like they had just a tiny, tiny bit of glitter in them. They weren't as metallic as some of the other shades, which I feel like will be better for crease. I actually really like the color of that shade, and I actually feel like it's blending pretty well into the crease. I'm not going to take it up too high, and I'm not going to try and blend it too much because it does have a little bit of shimmer in it, like I was saying. So I basically just want to set this down as like a base, and then I'm going to go in with some of the other shadows and kind of play around a bit more. But I did want to make sure I just had a base down first. But the shade is actually really pretty. It kind of looks kind of purpley, yet kind of blue. The shade I'm going to go in with is this one right here. It's kind of like a coppery shade, and this is in the Fire palette. I'm just using the same brush, and I'm basically just going to pack this kind of right over top of the shade just to help kind of give it a little bit more definition here on the outer corner. And then I'll go ahead and get started with some of like the metallic shades. But I kind of just want to like see how these layer on each other and see if we can create like a full look using the shades from this palette. I know that I think that what they were going for with these, since there's no matte shades in them, I think they were going with these kind of more of like a topper palette, more of something that you would go into and use a few of the shimmers. I don't know if these would be something that I would necessarily create a whole look with, although I feel like we will be able to do it. It's just I naturally would go in with mattes first and then probably come into a few of these for the shimmer shades. I think next from the Earth palette, I'm going to go in with the shade right here. This one is so pretty. And I'm just going to take this on my Morphe M142. And I'm going to go ahead and pack this right here. Oh, wow. That's really shimmery. You guys see how pigmented that is? And I'm going to leave the inner part of my eye blank because I'm going to add another color there. I'm getting a tiny bit of fallout here on my face, you can see. I didn't spritz my brush though, so I'm sure if I sprayed my brush that wouldn't have happened. But I'm basically just going to put this right here, and then I'm going to go in with a different shade for the inner corner. The shade is really pretty though. From the water palette, I'm going to go into this bright blue aqua color. I'm going to use the same brush, and this time I'm going to apply that on the whole inner part of the eye and kind of marry it with the lash shade just so we get like a little bit of a ombre effect. Again, we are getting a little bit of fallout, nothing too bad. For the inner corner, I'm going to go into the Air palette and take this shade right here, which is a really, really pretty kind of pearly pink shade, and I'm going to apply that to my inner corner. Wow, that's really pretty too. These shimmers, you guys, are so beautiful. Alright, so for the lower lash line, I'm just going to use those same shades that we did use on our outer corners. I'm going to apply some lashes, and then I'll be back to show you guys the highlight. Okay, and now for the highlight. So I think I'm going to use one on each cheek. So I'm first going to go in with Air, so you guys can see what Air looks like. This is the more pinky tone one. I'm just using my Morphe M501 brush. This is my favorite highlighting brush, and as you can tell, it's very pigmented when I put it on my brush. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply this. Holy pigment. Really pretty. I love WetnWild's highlight, you guys. I feel like they have some of the most blinding drugstore highlights. Oh, they're so pretty. This one is super, super pretty. I am going to try and blend it out quite a bit. It does look like it has a tiny, tiny bit of glitter to it. It's not really going to be one of those highlights that kind of looks like your skin. I feel like it definitely has a little bit of glitter in this one. I'm going to further just try and blend it out, but definitely has a lot of glitter in it. Okay, now for the other side, I'm going to go in with Earth, and we're going to see what this one looks like. I'm going to go a little lighter handed since they do have quite a bit of glitter in them, just so it doesn't look as glittery. Ooh, this one's really pretty too. So there is Earth. So here's the difference. We have the Air and then Earth. All right, and then lastly, let's go ahead and do the gloss. So like I said, I got mine in Aquarius, and I've never tried their lip gloss, so I'm curious to see what the formula feels like. It does seem pretty pigmented. It doesn't actually feel it doesn't feel sticky, which is good. Sometimes with lip gloss, I feel like they can feel like really, really sticky. I almost kind of wish I put on a lip liner first, but it feels pretty good. It actually feels like it's gonna be a pretty contour. It's just a really pretty nude shade. This is $2.99, and it does have a little bit of glitter in it. I feel like you can't really tell on the lips. That color is really, really pretty. All right, and this is our final look using all of the Zodiac Collection from WetnWild, you guys. I was really impressed with this collection. I'm super impressed with these eyeshadow palettes. I feel like they are really, really pigmented, like really blinding. I can still see so much shimmer on my eye. I think that these are really pretty. I think for me, my favorite out of all of them, I think were the Earth and then also the Water palette. I just feel like these are most my vibes because they have those blues in there and just the golds. These are just both so pretty. But I also think the Fire and the Air are really pretty as well, and I'm definitely going to get use out of all of these. We did create an entire eye look with them. Of course, if I was working with these, I probably would go in with a few other mattes and then come into the shimmers in these palettes. You can create a whole look like we did. You just kind of have to know how to work and which shimmers you can use and which ones you can't use on the crease. These are definitely a yes for me though. They are $4.99, so they're super affordable and definitely really, really pigmented. Those metallics and shimmers are gorgeous. Moving on to the highlighters, I do think that they are really, really pretty. The only problem I do have with these is they have a tiny, tiny bit of glitter in them, and I wish they just weren't so glittery because I feel like they look a little bit glittery on the skin, and I prefer my highlights to be a little bit more kind of melted, although they are super, super pretty, and they're both really, really blinding. It just depends on what you go for with your highlights. They are really nice, and I love the packaging on these, so they're definitely very, very blinding. And then lastly, we have the lip gloss, which is on my lips. It feels really, really comfortable. I'll be curious to see kind of the wear test and how long this does stay on, but for $2.99, this shade Aquarius is really, really pretty. It's like the perfect nude. I would love to pair this with a lip liner. So that is going to do it for this little mini review / first impression on the Wet n Wild Zodiac Collection. Let me know what you guys think down below. I, of course, will continue to use these products, and if you have any further questions on them or you want to see a more in-depth review after I've used them a bunch of times, let me know. But so far, I'm pretty impressed with everything that we tried today. So let me know down below what you guys think of this makeup look. Also, let me know if you picked up any of the items from the Zodiac Collection. Let me know also what other videos you guys would like to see from me. Give this one a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye, friends.